Yo, what's good, dog?
Was good. Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. We out here.
Morning.
So
I
I
know.
figured, we testing this out since we got Corona.
Right.
We trying to see how to get connected with your peoples. Have some dialogue, have some conversation, let people know what's going on, or answer some questions. So we're gonna go ahead and come into this.
All
What you
right.
got, dog? What you got?
You can go ahead and cut it down a little bit. Go ahead and talk the music.
It's all
Everybody heard us intro. Now they know who it is. All
right.
right. So first, I'm gonna introduce myself to many of y'all who don't know me and some of y'all who do. There's Jones, aka the King. And I'm saying I'm here. We are here to have a good time.
Always, always.
So, the young King over here, Mr. Bell.
Brandon Bam
Uh,
Bam Bell. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
he suggested that we did do basically this is our form of a trying to start a podcast. Everybody else has started one, so why not us?
Right.
Um, Today we're going to talk about relationships, and this is going to sound like I don't care about other groups of people, but that's not what the case is. I'm going to address relationships from the view of a black man, because I ain't been nothing else but a black man, so I can't tell you nothing else about nobody else. Don't get mad with me. Well, if you do, that's your problem. Anyways, that's all I know. Okay, so that's my disclaimer.
All right, Mr. Notepad, what you got for us?
First, we're gonna start on your end because you said last night you sent me a message and it said, "What
No,
is a relationship?"
I was going down a list. And I told you to add on to it. That's what I
No, no,
did.
no, no. We're gonna start with your section first. What is a relationship? Hold on, let me turn this fan down a little bit.
Okay, do whatever you do. All I know is entanglements.
This boy here, listen,
We'll come back to that.
we'll get
Come
to
back to that.
entanglements because entanglements have entanglements. That's another story. Let's go ahead and do. Let's go focus. What is a relationship? I will give you an actual definition, but what today's society has taught me is that we make things fit however we want it to sound. That makes sense. So instead of saying, hey, this guy and this girl, or whatever y'all status may be, um, they together, hanging out all the time, at each other's house all the time, kissing and hugging, saying how much they care about each other, and that's not a relationship. That's just we just real good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And this make me look at people like, what do you mean? So the actual definition is a partnership between two people. It never said male, female. It never says male and male. It just says a relationship is a bond between two people. So
Right.
by that definition, hell, all of us in relationships. All of us, whether it's a family, friend,
Some way, shape, or form. I see
yeah,
where you're going
everybody has a relationship.
with
So
somebody.
we've established that we are all in relationships. Now the question is, what style of relationship you have. So uh,
Toxic.
you have intimacy versus platonic. So me and you have a platonic friendship. Okay, we're just friends. That is it. I ain't trying to be in your bedroom. I ain't trying to do all the extra bull crap. Me and you is
Definitely.
just
Now
friends.
you stay where you at.
Right. We are friends. And don't get it twisted. There is a level of intimacy, but it's not the way people perceive it to be.
So it's more of a
So,
brotherhood.
right. It's intimacy. We hear the word intimacy, and the first thing we do is get fearful of like, oh no, no. It's like, yeah,
Therefore,
we have conversations about how we feel about stuff. That's
right.
what intimacy is.
And as
That's what
black
intimacy is.
men, you got to be more open to that, especially now.
Right.
That's another topic for another day. But you got to start
Right.
surrounding yourself by people who you can have those conversations with.
Right. You can't have that conversation with everybody. So platonic is just nothing, and intimacy is more involved. Uh, Generally, that's between most of the time, intimacy is between two people trying to be together as a couple or married or
Ide-
long-term partner.
Ideally,
That's where you get most of the intimacy from. And why are we like that? It's just because we're human. Yes, we have our biological makeup, which is for us to reproduce, but then we have our psychological makeup, which means that we want to have that constant reassurance, whether it's from mom or whether it's from mom, dad, anybody else. It's fine, but we all want that from that one person.
Right.
That's that one person. Everybody wants that. So that's why it is. And there are pros and cons to both. Like you just said, as black men, when it comes to intimacy with us, one of the biggest problems is we have this fear of the word intimacy in itself. We hear it, it's automatically like, oh man, I
Shut
need you to be
down.
with that nigga.
Shut down.
Right.
Stop
Like
it.
anybody said you had to be with the man to
Be
be
quiet.
intimate. What are you talking about? It's
Don't
a
say nothing
conversation,
else.
bro.
Don't
You
say
having a
nothing else.
conversation about real life stuff about how I really feel.
Yeah.
Intimacy really just involves feelings. And that's just really what it is.
We don't fuck with
Right. But we're going to go to the other side of relationships because I know what you want relationship you were talking about. I know what you was getting at. We're going to talk about the relationships between two partners trying to be together ideally for the long haul.
I had no predisposition where I was.
Yeah,
Going.
whatever.
It was.
Whatever.
It was
You
just
said whatever.
You was
I
going
can
dark.
hear it in your voice. I've known you too long.
Nigga, it's 8:00 in the morning.
What does that mean? You said this yesterday when you was hyped up, so I know when you was hyped up, you meant what you said.
No, I was hyped up with the idea of us doing something.
Whatever. Don't try to change the boat. Anyways, so when it comes to relationships, I'm the traditional way. I know some people ain't gonna like it, but it is what it is. I believe in the man and the woman, married and all that other good stuff. That's how I grew up. That's what I'm used to.
And
I don't have no problem with it. Listen, that makes this very clear. Whatever your choice is, that's between you and whatever you believe in. As for me, I ain't into that. So
it's a free country. Do whatever you do. Leave us out of it. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. I'm gonna say again. Leave us out of it. Thank you.
Don't get mad with me. I'm not mad with you for your choice. So leave me alone. We all good. So now we're going to talk about the intimacy versus platonic. So it's very hard, but it's possible for a man and a woman to have a platonic relationship.
Time out. It's not very hard.
No. I have. The reason why I say it's very hard because many men. I ain't saying you. This is the words I'm you. I got to be specific with my words because I know how people are.
Many picking.
Okay. Many. You see that? Many. Okay. Many. MANY. Many men
come into a platonic relationship trying to get more out of it.
Exactly.
They trying to set their feet in the door. But I have way more female friends than I have male friends.
But then watch this. On their side, it's platonic for you, but is it platonic for some of them? Because like I know some women, when they see a good dude, they already trying to get a little further.
I don't ask questions. But if it comes to that, then I'll start shying away because apparently you can't control your feelings, and it's just time for us to go away. By the way, for all y'all black men who are kings, I got to do a promotion. Faithful Black Men Association, they got the new drip out. Go cop it if you can. They sell out quick. It's fire gear. Black men don't cheat. That's all I gotta say. Had to do a promotion. We was getting there.
Hey, I ain't mad with it. Like I said, intimacy versus platonic. So that's where we at again. The biggest problem is a lot of us go straight to intimacy and skip the platonic part.
Definitely. I do feel if you're gonna be with somebody, you gotta have a friendship. You gotta start a friendship, especially if you expect your relationship to last long term.
Right. And a relationship is the thing, we don't want to build anything anymore. Our society has made us a microwave society. And what I mean by that is we don't want to take time to do anything. We want everything right now. Like it's sad.
That's facts.
Nobody is causing people who are already impatient to be more impatient. It's people that had patience ain't got none no more. So it's like everybody's like, oh, I need it right now. What's the rush? What is the rush? there's no need to be such in a rush.
Because they got short attention spans. Why you think
Yeah.
they made that whole app of 10-minute movies, Quibi, whatever it is? I haven't seen it. I saw Die Hard, kind of made me want to get it, but we'll get back to that. But short attention span, quick, go on to the next one. That's why people are so suggestive, like especially you go to the movie theater, commercial, Coke, popcorn, ooh, quick, show, I want some of that. They see the quick and they want it to come immediate, but it doesn't work that way. It takes time.
See, that's why everybody needs to start cooking. So when you cook, you got to have patience when you cook.
You know we be in there.
Listen,
H2.
Right.
We whipping it up.
Right. People be looking at me. I got patience because I like to go and could be like, why they take so long to cook all that food? Listen, I don't care about how long it takes. Yes, it's time consuming.
But it's something I enjoy.
It takes me to sit down, have to calm down. I can't rush through it because no matter how bad I want to, when I'm out here making like if I'm making some turkey necks in the oven, and I got the oven on 350, that ain't the hottest, so it's gonna take a while.
Right.
But I'm okay with that because that allows me to go do other stuff. You know, let me go chop up these onions and tomatoes for this meal over here. Let me go chop up this over here. Now it's like, hey, I got a whole system going. You know what I'm saying? So our relationships, we jump into the intimacy part, which is supposed to be in the oven, but instead we put it in the microwave.
Mm-hmm.
So now
microwave eggs is nasty as hell. If you would have took that time and put it in a pan, it kind of would have tasted way better.
Right. We want everything in the microwave. So you go get this microwave. You done skip the whole getting to know the person. You done skip the whole, talking to them. You done skip the whole finding out who they are. What makes them tick and what doesn't. You done skipped all of that and went straight to I'm about to beat the brakes out of back. I'm about to suck his soul out. So boom, everybody in there.
I'm
boom.
About to fuck her life up.
Yeah, you go in there and you do that. And then next thing you know, so you are 3 months later, man, she crazy. She don't do this and she don't do that. She don't do this and she don't do that. Well, if you would have not jumped in the hack so fast, you would have knew she was like that. And I'm not saying that I haven't had my relations. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I pick and choose what I'm trying to do this with.
Your entanglements.
Oh, listen. We're gonna go back to this entanglement thing. All right, let me tell you what an entanglement is. Okay. Entanglement is, I hate to be this way, is Miss Smith's definition of a relationship outside of the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That's an entanglement. You can call it that. So what I don't know if I paid attention to it. Maybe
I watched it. I watched it a couple times. I
watched it, and first off, Will did the same thing I would have said. Entanglement, the hell is that? A relationship?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? An entanglement.
Let me Webster dictionary this. This about to change the whole definition right here. But yeah.
His face said everything for me. I knew what that meant. I'm a man. I'm a man first. Like, what? What the hell you mean an entanglement? What the hell is that? I was an entanglement. The fuck you mean? You was having a relationship? Yeah, an entanglement. And then what got me is she said, yeah, an entanglement. That further shows you how women try to change stuff up a little bit. Not
to
all.
benefit themselves.
Right. It don't sound as bad. Entanglement don't sound as bad as, a whole relationship outside of marriage or an affair, whatever you want to use. They don't have that same negative connotation.
But I do see how if Will would have said he was trying to, help a young lady, because August is like my age, 26. He young. How would that go over?
Well, we know how that would
He would be ran through.
He manipulated that little girl. He played with emotions, this, that, and the third. He shouldn't have brought her on like that when he know he ain't finna leave her. And that, and the third.
And I definitely think that whole situation, the way she went about it, what she said, how she was trying to feel happy for herself, that's selfish. At the same, I do feel she is selfish, and she
back up. Stop right there. I've been waiting for that part. I was waiting before we got to the selfish part. So innately, we as humans are selfish.
Right.
It's always self-preservation before anyone else's.
Right.
But this goes back to when you get in a relationship, you have to understand it's not always self first.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong.
What she
You need
said
to take
was,
care of yourself,
it
but
felt so long for her to feel good, and she wanted to make him help him. When this was when his brother died, he was going to his family. He was raising up his nieces and nephews and nieces, and he was hurt. He was on drugs, doing all that. Apparently, like he's hurting. But now you want to feel good, so you come over here and try to. I mean, I felt that was selfish. Like you're trying to make yourself feel good. Like first work on yourself, apparently, because you're still damaged some way, shape, or form before you try to help somebody else.
right.
But
Hey, that dog need to shut up. Oh, see, this is I'm gonna go over there. I don't know who dog this is. Somebody go throw some water on his face. anyways, but anyway, yeah, she was very self. I wouldn't say she was. I don't know. It's one of those vulnerability moments. There is something that was going on inside of her that she needed to fix.
mm-hmm.
Instead of fixing it, she used
him as a scapegoat.
Right. We have to get past the mindset of I'm hurting. So since I'm hurting, I'm gonna figure out,
something that
I'm gonna go to somebody else
or something like that.
Right. So for me, I know me. I could use myself for an example because that's the best reference. Like when it comes to me being frustrated and not seeming like I'm happy at the moment, I don't go out and go and find some woman who needs to be trained and be like, let me train you to get you in shape, baby.
No, I can't. I don't have the patience, the tolerance, the mental.
Right. No. So now I got to go. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the training part, but I have to ask myself, like, what am I doing this for? Am I doing this for the purpose of helping the person, or am I doing this for something to patch up what's going on with me? Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times, some of us don't want to go to counseling. A lot of us don't want to go to counseling.
No, I turn off my phone. I stop talking to people. I play a little bit of Call of Duty. I smoke my cigars. I paint some Bob Ross pictures, and I call it a day.
Right. Like I said, we are innately selfish. It's innately selfish. It's a mindset that you have to break on your own. You have to purposely say, you know what, I want to be better. Mm-hmm. I don't like this state I'm in, so I have to find a way to be better without hurting the person that I love.
Mm-hmm. Whether it's about changing your surroundings daily, trying to change your mental, anything.
Okay.
Is that the missus?
Huh?
Is that the missus?
Yeah, she's going to Waffle House.
Yes, Look at you. Look at you. Yes, I'm so happy you found you a black queen, son. Took you long enough.
There we go. But nah, it's
hey queen. Look, tell her I said
she gone. She going to Waffle House. I'm sorry you're not here. We should get both of us in Waffle House because I know you would enjoy it. I know you would enjoy it. Waffle House is the best, worst food in the world. I don't care what nobody tells me. This relationship is intimate. Okay, this is an intimate relationship.
Didn't we go to remember those drunken nights from the strip club?
Huh?
Those drunken nights from the strip club.
Oh man! As soon as you leave, whatever that Sammy's, you go right there. Boop.
Walk right over there.
Right there, or you go to the way right on base. Boop. I'm getting me some Waffle House. The best, worst food in the world. Listen to the words I'm saying, guys. The best, worst food in the world.
It does your body good.
It's not that good, no, but it's really good for some reason because I guess it's cheap and it's I don't know.
And they're always open.
Right. My expectations ain't that high when it comes to Waffle House. It's like, hey boy, they're gonna make these hash browns with these onions and these mushrooms and go ahead and throw in these jalapenos. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little salsa on there and bam, I'm in there like swimwear. Anyway, let me get back on topic. So yeah, that was a very selfish move in my opinion.
Right.
And I really like what Will said.
I do. And I can definitely see it was definitely something tough. Like, and one, I don't think it should have came out the way it did.
It shouldn't have been out there, period.
Right. I think I definitely
August was I'll say this. I can tell August was hurt for him to take that route.
But it was years ago. I do feel he didn't pass all his classes at Side Nigga University. Because I definitely know "shut the fuck up" is one of the lessons in every class for Sinai University. So I don't appreciate how he came out with it, but it came out, and I seen Will was hurting. You can tell it's a tough situation. Like it's
Right.
something you don't want to talk about. Like even though he and his wife try to, they put themselves in the limelight, but that it was just a tough situation for him to have to.
But like I said, I like what Will said because Will said, "I will love you through anything," and I meant that. So instead of him taking the route of saying you dirty slut or this that and the third or you lying heifer blah 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 blah, he ain't call out a name. He never disrespected her. I want a lot of men and especially women to pay attention to what he did. All he did was say, "I told you I will love you through anything." That was something she had to fix within herself because she didn't somewhat believe that.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that she has to figure out. Will meant what he said. So
Right.
what am I saying? There are a lot of men out here who've had relationships where, or even marriages where the wife is the one that stepped out. And what I
Mm-hmm.
find the irony of it all, Will never said anything about her stepping out.
Kept his mouth shut. He dealt
Right.
with it
So here's the
internally.
thing. This is what I tell everybody. Um, a lot of men don't get praise for this, but there are many men, I ain't saying all, there are many men out here who have been cheated on
Big
and they
facts.
have not said a word about it to anybody.
Because,
And they won't do it.
but the moment a woman does,
And now a man step out on a woman,
you
man. I'm
ran
not saying
through.
all women. Listen to me, because I don't want people. You know, people like to play on these words. So I'm gonna make sure y'all hear these words. There are a lot of women out here who will bash a man for stepping out on her.
I will say a baffling amount of women.
No, I'm not even gonna say baffling.
It's a lot because
I'm
the
gonna
moment
go ahead
you
and
open
put,
up Twitter,
so let's
Instagram,
say out of 500,000 women, at least 400,000 be nice. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna say 380,000
95,
gonna be like,
95,
they're gonna be like, hey,
395,000.
no, 385. I'm gonna be nice, 85. 385,000 women out of that 500,000 women are gonna be like, this Joker did this, black, white, blue,
He
pink, Spanish,
trash.
whatever her race is, whatever it is. But then there are going to be those other, and there's going to be that group of women that fights to love this man through it all. Okay, I've seen it in my own family. I've seen it in my surroundings growing up. There are some women that fight for it, but then there's the other women who just he a dog, he this, that, run through the public saying everything bad about him. And then, sometimes they don't even realize that while you talking bad about him, the person he's sleeping with is dang near your friend.
Mm-hmm.
So, and many men, a lot of men don't say nothing because a lot of us have that psychological damage. Like,
You
what did I
forget.
do wrong as a man? Like, I'm not saying women don't feel this, but it hits a man differently because like I'm a man. I'm supposed to be able to
You're
clean
supposed to be a
a woman.
rock. You're supposed to be hard.
I'm right.
Nothing is
I'm
supposed
the
to let
alpha
you
male.
falter.
Nobody touch my stuff. This is my queen. Like this is how he's supposed to be. And it's like, dang, he done snuck in here and stole my stuff. I can't tell nobody because that means I'm being vulnerable. So,
And that's not
with
something.
that mindset, there are many men. I'm not saying all because I've heard some men. Well, not really. I ain't heard too many men talk about it too much. But like I said, there's probably some that I haven't met. So that's why I say there are a lot of men who just take it on the chin, don't say nothing.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I really commend Will for that. Uh, uh, he's actually a good guy, in my opinion. If you take that route when you had every opportunity to call her out her name and everything else, but you never did.
Mm-hmm. And
And as
that
far as I know, I ain't seen nothing with him on Twitter, Instagram, none of that, Snapchat. I ain't heard him say nothing about this woman.
mm-mm.
Period. In the side of August, I feel like he did that's a little childish. This is why I don't like, but this is why I don't like social media as an outlet for stuff like that
Well,
because
like
people take advantage of it and
his timing is suspect to me.
he
He
did it. Why did he do it? Is the question.
he
You
because
ask questions with a
he just
question.
dropped some new music. He ain't been relevant in
Right,
years.
entanglement. But how long ago he wrote this?
Before that though,
What?
that before that, he dropped some new songs, a couple new songs.
They weren't getting played.
Right, dropping entanglement on Jada. boom, and then Rick Ross said something about it, and then that entanglement track came right after that. So he's
I
capitalizing.
can't say. I ain't reading that deep. I'm gonna just say it's
It's
childish for you to
suspect.
come out. That's something you shouldn't have been doing.
Young
That's something
man, go back to Side Nigga University if you're gonna be out here in these streets. And
you should have
retake
left
your
that. You're
classes.
supposed to leave that in the lockbox and don't never open it. It is
Big
what
facts.
it is.
But yeah.
Okay. By the way, Jada has some beautiful eyes. But anyways,
yes.
so let's go forward to expectation versus standards in a relationship. I know you didn't think about that one.
Go ahead. Yeah. I gotta catch my thoughts on this.
Yeah.
He didn't give me the outline. I sent him some
I never did. No. I didn't. Here, listen to what I was doing. This is what I said. I said, you have your side and I'll have mine. And so what this does is create a situation of back and forth feedback to see like, all right, boom, I'm gonna change your train of thoughts. So I wrote this on purpose. It's only 3 bullets. I mean, it's 3 main ideas and bullets, and 2 bullets under each to go, in depth. So expectation versus standard. So what is the difference between an expectation and a standard?
Oh, I got high expectations.
I'm gonna say it again. What's the difference between an expectation and a standard?
Nigga, you want the Webster definition?
You want to go look up the Webster definition?
I definitely can.
I don't even know who Webster is. Congratulations, Webster.
Some white man who.
We don't know that. Together. Webster might be Jewish. Webster might be French. Webster might be African. And we just don't know.
Expectation, a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. A belief that someone will or should achieve something. Expectation. And you said standard?
Mm-hmm. The standard is, go ahead. I ain't even going to say it.
We're going to get to Webster, then we're going to go off of that. A level of quality or attainment. An idea or thing used as a measure, norm, or model in comparative evaluations.
There it is. So the standard is this, and the expectation is this. They're different. They connect, absolutely, but they are different. So how many of us go in relationships with expectations? And
you should always have expectations.
Listen,
always.
No. Your expectation should always be that a person be who they are or better. That's what your expectation should be. See, we go in these relationships.
What about the expectations of you? What you want? You got your
no. Listen to me. You can't expect them to be what you want because they don't know what's in your brain. But you can have a standard of what you're not gonna tolerate. Here we go. Okay. Now we're cooking with grease. Okay. You see how you did that? You gotta have an expectation of what you not. You have an expectation, but then there's a standard. My standard is I don't want to be with any woman that cannot take care of herself. That's my standard. It's not an expectation. That is my standard. I do not want to be any woman that needs me every little waking part of the day. No, that's my standard. That's my standard.
Definitely has to be independent.
Right. That's my standard. My expectation is that you treat me with the same respect that I treat you. There we go. Woo-hoo-hoo. And then the expectations can end up turning into a standard because there you go.
After time, it builds up. Okay, look, you met this. All right, let's put a new. What we gonna do?
Right, you met this expectation. So now the expectation is now the new standard. No longer an expectation. I don't expect you. It's not like, hey, I expect you to never cheat. No. You've never cheated, so you never will cheat. That your standard is to never cheat. That is a standard for you now. This is your level of ability. So we got to understand the difference between expectations and standards. The reason why I brought that up is because of the sex involved in relationships. We go out and, many women and men, we go out and experiment through life. Okay? You go out here, you experiment, you have all the fun, and you become freak of the week. You done became freak of the week.
You dibble dabble.
And then next thing you know, you meet, I'm going to use you for example, okay?
Don't use me.
Why not? We got to use each other. All right, we're going to make up a story. Hello, my name is, I don't want to use Jason. I'm going to say, my name Benji Smith. Benji Smith went to college. Benji
Okay.
Smith went a full ride in college. He from a hood, black dude from the hood, you know, not from the hood. He black dude from Liberty City, right? He getting all the hoes, smashing them 2, 3 at a time, 4 at a time, boom. They doing all type of tricks and flips and all of the other good stuff. So Benji one day meet this chick named, I'm gonna say, I'm trying to think of a good name. He meet this girl named Queenie. Queenie ain't from the hood. Queenie from the suburbs because, you know, her dad tried to do the best he could, right?
Right.
Queenie also Queenie also developed a standard for herself where she's like, hey, I'm only sleeping with one guy, and I'm only gonna do all this stuff with this one guy. I'm not doing this all throughout town and all that stuff. So he meet Queenie. Queenie only been with one other guy before she met Benji, right? So Benji trying to smash. Queenie ain't letting it happen. But what happens is not all men, but a nice group of men, we get caught into that real quick. We like, wait a minute, she ain't gonna give up. So now our predator instinct kicks in. Oh, I got to get her. So now you trying to not Benji trying to figure out what she like, what she don't like. He trying to get in there.
Trying shit.
Right. He trying all types of stuff.
Shit.
And see, what happened is I got to figure out it's like a dog. It's like the horse chasing the carrot. Who is all these people calling me? I'm not. Hold on. Hello.
Sorry for the.
Hello.
What is it?
All right, boom. Sorry for the interruption, guys. I apologize. But anyways, I'm back. Anyways, so she got the carrot in front of Benji. He running after that carrot. He putting all his effort into it.
But he
done stopped talking to all the other chicks. He don't even realize he done did it, but he done did it. Mm-hmm. Right? He did all of this, right? He found out what kind of woman she is. She got her own hustle. Just because her parents got money, she don't live off of it because her dad and her mom taught her how to be her own woman. So she out here hustling with, you know, let's say she's working at a law firm and she's going to school to be an accountant. So she get her stuff. She on her stuff.
That's what we call a unicorn.
Benji over here, he was going to school to be, he just going to school to get his business degree or whatever. And then he started paying attention to her. So he started trying to get into economics and he started diving even more deeper than what he was before.
So she's kind of making him better with the chase.
She's forcing his hand. Benji ain't got no little job or nothing like that, but she's forcing him to do better for himself. He's out here networking and changing up, you know, what he does because he's trying to get closer to her, right? Does all of this. And her standard is, like I said, she ain't finna let you do anything. So let's just say she's like, I was gonna wait till marriage, but she let Benji get it, right? Mm-hmm. Benji like, hey, you know, he thinking that she finna go in there and be a freak of the week, but she not. She's just regular. She just lay down, let you do what you do, and she's good. He tried to go down. She like, nah, chill. He like, oh, you gonna say, no, I'm not doing that. So now Benji confused. Wait a minute, why she ain't doing all this? Benji went in there with the expectations that she could be a freak of the week just like everybody else I've been with. And now Benji's getting in the crossroad. Man, she ain't doing this, that, and the third. I don't want to be with a woman that ain't sucking no dick, da-da-da-da.
But you forget everything else she just did for you.
What? Did you just say that out loud? Did you just say that out loud?
Straight out loud on the microphone and record
it. You see that? You focused on the wrong thing.
Right.
Because you went out there and exposed yourself to everything in the world. And she never said that she wouldn't do it. Mind you, what I said before, she's willing to experiment and do all this other stuff and have all these fantasy stuff with this one person. She's not trying to do this with everybody. She takes pride in making sure that she's doing that for one man. But you went out here and you became freak of the week. And so now because she don't took a dick, you don't want to be bothered with her no more. So you're done with her. So now you go and find Susan.
Right down the street.
You go and find, Susan live on campus. Then you go and find Lil Kiki. Then you go and find Lachey. Then you go and find Lisa. Then you go and find, what's her name?
Rajon Quay.
Then you go and find, who else I got? I need another one. Even one more. I need another one. You go find Margaret, Marsha. You knocking them all off. But then you get a couple of them pregnant.
She ain't gonna.
And then you guess who you run into a couple years later.
The first joint who put you on game.
Oh, it's Queenie again. Queenie done got married now.
She living a good life.
Right. And now you looking like, man.
You got 3 kids, child support.
Your sexual expectations was that she was gonna be like everybody else. No. You should never expose yourself to so much stuff that when you finally meet somebody, you can't control yourself no more. And that's what our society has done. We always label sex as just sex until it interferes with our real life. And yeah, so we need to understand the expectation and the standard. And then when that, and that's very important because that gears a lot of our relationships. All right. So next we're gonna talk about communication versus understanding.
I'm great at this.
Is there a difference between understanding and communication?
Is there a difference? I'm gonna say you need both. You got to communicate.
Listen to me. Is there a difference between the two?
Communication and understanding.
Is there a difference?
I say you need both.
I ain't say you don't need both.
You can't have one without. You really can't have. Well, you can communicate, but then be terrible at trying to understand the other person's point of view or where they're coming from.
Right.
You lack kind of like with people with the Black Lives Matter movement. All lives matter, but you're missing. You're communicating with us, but you're not understanding why we're saying what we're saying.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so yeah, there is a difference.
You need to know the reason why I say you need to know the difference. A lot of us think that because I'm talking to you and I'm communicating, that means you understand how I feel. No.
But sometimes you also have to break it down. Like I'm analytical. I like thinking forward, and I've talked to females who haven't been on that same thought process. Like, why are you asking all these questions? Like, I have questions. Generally speaking, if I have questions, I'm gonna ask them. I'm thinking about it. It's gonna come to my mind. I'm trying to get an understanding of why you said this or why you do this. Period.
Right.
And I'm trying to talk to you, but you're saying I'm asking questions. I'm like, okay, whatever, fine, fuck it, fuck the questions. I don't care anymore.
Right. And so of course you said, you just mentioned it. Oh, is that the missus? So one of the biggest things I had to learn is not learn, but
retrain.
No, not even retraining. I've had to work on my communication because I'm one of the people that's like, I'm just not gonna talk.
I do that to this day. I get in my feelings. I'm salty, whatever. I'm not feeling like where I'm going.
If I'm frustrated, mad, whatever the case may be, I'm not gonna say nothing out loud. I'm gonna go in there and cook like nothing happened. I'm gonna go just be normal life. She be like, "What's wrong?" Nothing.
But when you have a woman, that's a good thing that they're willing to listen.
Right. No, don't get me wrong. I understand that, but like I said, I just I don't want to talk about it. But what I have realized is, even when I have communicated, sometimes she still don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk all day long because communication, to me, there is no reason why we shouldn't be able to communicate with people. There's almost no reason why you can't communicate. There are cell phones, text messages.
Well,
there you can write a letter. You can send a fax. If you know how to do it, you go get you a pigeon. There's almost no way.
It's kind of like philosophy. The reason philosophers exist and what they do is they have conversations.
Right.
And they have their own opinions. But they're not argumentative to each other. They let each other say what they got to say. And then they meet back. Okay, you say what you got to say. You say what. So they're taking time to listen to the other point of view. It's hard to communicate with somebody when you say something and they get argumentative. They get defensive. Then the communication.
Why they get defensive? It's not. That might be because of the lack of understanding.
Right. But then they're not willing to gain understanding.
Right. So therefore, you're stopping the communication.
Back. Hey, Queen.
Oh Lord.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm gonna be the best man. So I just
Listen, with the way Corona going right now, ain't nobody gonna be doing nothing.
Bro, I'm driving. I got a 4Runner. I'll be there.
Listen, it's like somebody granddaddy. I have a 4Runner, boy. That thing be moving.
Lift kit. We driving through.
Right. But
too many people are argumentative and defensive with their point. And
right. because they don't understand.
No.
And secondly, we all have the mechanism of somebody's being judgmental of us when they're speaking to us. People always taking it out of context.
Right.
Just because I'm addressing something, that does not mean that I'm actually saying that you are a terrible person. I'm not saying that you are a crappy person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm addressing the issue. So if you are somebody that's yelling at other people, and I'm like, hey man, why are you yelling at people? Oh, you gotta look at you. No. Why are you yelling at people? I'm not talking about the fact that you hard work and you do everything else. I ain't saying nothing about none of that. I don't have a problem with who you are. I'm just saying in this particular situation, you are always yelling at people. Just you yelling is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And because we get so defensive, we are ignoring the fact that they're showing me something that I might need to fix, because nobody likes being yelled at. No, nobody.
At the same time, that's when you just gotta talk to people like they are people, not things, not objects.
Right. But this goes back to, like I said, do you have understanding of what I'm talking to you about?
And a lot of people don't. And it's hard to get a woman to understand a male's point of view. It's hard to get a white man to understand a black man's point of view.
It's not hard. You know what the problem is?
They don't want to listen.
No, it's not even about listening. It's about stepping out of you to look the other side.
Stepping out of your comfort zone?
Yes, and that's the problem. Not everybody has that problem to an extent until you learn how to recognize that is a problem. I can't understand your point of view until I step out of my comfort zone of what I think. So if I don't look at it from both sides, what kind of person am I? You know, like I say, I was telling Shantae, I said, when I look at stuff, I look at it all the way through. So,
I have coworkers who say I'm argumentative, I'm cocky, I think I know everything. No. I have my point. I have my textbooks, my reasoning. I can bring proof. And in relationships too, like I'm not going to come to you with something without proof. I'm going to have proof. And if you have a point of view, what is your point of view? Do you have proof? If you don't have proof, I can't really put weight on what you're saying.
To an extent, because I feel like sometimes, all right, so if I tell you about your facial expressions, I can't prove to you unless I record it, right or wrong.
Right.
But here's a fact. You can't see your face when you're talking to me, can you?
Mm-mm.
So if I'm telling you this, shouldn't you have some type of trust into what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Remember that whole last 2 years in the Navy? Bill, why you always angry? Oh, fuck with y'all.
That's what I'm saying. You got to look at it from that point of view of saying, sometimes when somebody brings you in a relationship, sometimes a person sees what you can't see. And that they don't always have to have proof. Right. You should be able to trust the words that come out of your mouth, out of their mouth. I'm not saying they're always going to be right, and I'm not saying they're always going to be wrong. But you should give some type of validity to that statement that they've made.
Mm-hmm.
So communication is very important. So is understanding, because if you don't communicate, you never get an understanding. And if you don't have an understanding, it will stop the communication.
Right.
I'm going to say this again. It is important to communicate because that helps you gain an understanding.
Right.
But if you don't communicate, you can never get an understanding.
Very big fact.
And if you don't have an understanding, it will destroy your communication.
I completely agree.
Sure. You can bring it over here. It's very interesting to see how people try to separate the two. And it's like, no, bro, they're together. Yeah. They're literally a relationship. Like intimacy and platonic is a relationship. Why? Because you have to learn how to be friends in order to become intimate. If you don't have a standard, you will never have a way to make a person meet your expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look at me. Ooh, boy.
Got you a woman bringing you food? Ooh, I'm missing out.
Oh, yes, sir. I had to get that. I had some chicken from this week we had made. And instead of getting chicken from Waffle House, because sometimes they'll be cooking it well enough. So I use that chicken that I was using for like my meal prep, just put it on top of the eggs and the hash browns. Boom! I'm in there like swimwear.
Yeah.
So that's what it is, man. So they're very important. All of those pieces are important. Where are we at here? Then we have different forms of communication. Everybody don't communicate the same way.
You got to try to understand the other
The same
person.
way. Huh?
You got to try to understand which individual
like which
that you're
form of
dealing with
works best for that person. It's how you should do it. So
verbal, nonverbal, body language,
right.
etc. So
you get people like me. You know me. I'm a music head to the max.
fucking
a song.
music Rolodex.
I feel like a song.
I get tired of your ass. What sample is this? Send me, nigga. What?
Right. Look, I'm on. You already know I'm on. So I feel like music is a good way of communicating because sometimes there are songs that will say the words that you don't want to say or you fearful of saying. So you want to get them out, but it's hard for you to get it out the right way. So you use a song for an example. And I'm one of those people that communicate that way. Whereas my partner here, my teammate over here, looks at me and says, "Why you just don't say it?" Maybe that's not how it works.
Just say what you mean. If I can say what I mean, I will mean what I say. Oh.
I just said it. I just said it not the way you used to. So why you just don't say it? Why?
I said it away.
Right.
There's many ways to skin a cat.
Right. All that matters is I skinned the cat. That's what matters. All right. So that's it for me, man. What's on your side?
That's all we got.
No. Where your notes at?
I got my notes. But you ain't got. This is only 40 minutes. Did you not get my text message?
I did. I'm trying to find my phone. Why it tastes like Fabuloso over here?
I don't know how long we got. They don't have a timer on this thing.
I know it don't have a timer on here. I told you that. I just was looking at to see what your look at this message you had sent me. Relationships. All right. We got how much time we got left before it's 40 minutes?
Bro, I don't know.
Well, you ain't even time it. Genius.
Okay. I thought it was gonna have a timer.
Let's just keep going. You didn't set a timer. All right.
What makes a relationship last?
We're
gonna hit these quick points. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna hit these quick points before the time runs out.
That's what I was looking at right there.
What makes a relationship last?
Yes, sir.
Communication, understanding. That's gonna definitely be one. Each individual understanding their roles. I'm not saying that a woman should be in a particular role. I'm not saying a man should be in a particular role. But I do know each individual has to stay in their own lane and then merge together. If y'all trying to do everything together, I don't think that's going to lead to longevity.
No, I think it needs to be understanding. Like I said, that's why I use the words being a teammate. So, prime example, I'm going to use Kobe, who I think is the greatest basketball player of all time. Some people say Michael. I say Kobe. Why do I say Kobe?
I also say without Mike, there's no Kobe, but keep going.
But yeah, no, of course. But without, I can keep going backwards if you want to do that one. But anyway.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Excuse the mess behind me. Okay, I got to show you something.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
You got to get you one of these. That's just off topic though, but keep going.
But
that's all we got.
Anyways, like I said, I can keep going backwards, and then we can have a whole new debate. But we're not gonna do that.
We say that for next time.
Right. So, the reason why I said Kobe is the greatest because I don't know if you remember that last championship game when they played the Boston Celtics. A lot of people don't. Some people don't recognize it, or maybe some people did. Kobe didn't lead that series in scoring. Period. He had regular scoring. I think he was averaging like 15 points, something like that. It wasn't a lot. Can't remember the exact number, but it wasn't a lot. But what Kobe lacked in the point area he made up with rebounds and assists. He led the team in rebounds and assists.
Mm-hmm.
So he was being a teammate. He recognized what was most important. What's most important is getting his victory. So guess who ended up being the leading scorer in the series? Ron Artest. Ron Artest, Metal War Peace. Whichever name you want to use. He's your leading scorer. Really think about that, Brandon.
Meta World Peace. Let him
Think about it. Think about it. You got one of the greatest basketball players ever on your team. And he's not even the leading scorer.
But he led the team to victory, one way, shape, or form.
Right.
Your influence could be many different ways. It doesn't have to be just scoring.
So my point is, in a relationship, we all have to know when to take the role.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see where you're going.
So I always say, everybody's going to be, I always call the relationships 50-50. Together we make 100. My grandma, I remember the first time I said it to my grandma and my mom, this is before I got in a relationship, and it was like, oh, you can't be 50-50. I said, let me tell you why I say 50. Because 50% of the time she's going to be up and 50% of the time he's going to be up. What I'm saying is you got to recognize when your spouses or your partners at they best and you at your worst and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to make it work from there. Right now, you know, if, let's say, you know, me and Shantae, right now she makes more money than I do. What options do I have? I can sit up here and cry about it, or I can find another way to make myself valuable.
Right.
What else do I bring to the table? Because money ain't everything.
But then that goes back to your standard. You have a woman who doesn't need you for every little thing.
Right.
So everything else is just supplemental.
You take your role. You got to take your role.
Yeah, my pops was talking about relationships and stuff. So, like, oh, you need to find you a young lady. He probably gonna watch this and be like, there you go, talking. But
so there's that. What's next?
well, we pretty much answered the last two.
What you mean?
We already answered the other
don't
ones.
know how do you know if your partner is really sincere? That is a good one. I was thinking about that last night. I was like, well, that was a good one. Brandon, coming up with these good questions.
Hey, I'm in that thing, in the bag. How to know if your partner's sincere? That is definitely probably one of the hardest things to obtain. And honestly, I would say actions, but then, you know, there's always wolves in sheep clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more so going to be longevity and what happens over time.
You didn't say like that the other day.
Which one?
Both of them. But I think the sincerity comes with time and action.
I don't think so.
That makes sense. You need both. I see it like that.
And that also ties back in what you were talking about earlier. The platonic beginning into the intent to be next. So, yeah.
So, and then like you said, you got to gauge the person. Like for me, I had to say this. I say, listen, let me tell you something. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't say dang anything about your attitude or how you come off.
Facts. He would just let you do whatever you want to do.
Whatever. You're not my woman. I don't care. Go do what you want to do. I don't have women tell me,
black woman. He don't need
I don't have women tell me, oh, we can't mess around no more. And I'm like, okay.
Goodbye.
Oh, so that's it? Okay. What do you're not my woman. We're not together. Why do I need to be upset about that? So sincerity comes through action and time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to find out if somebody's sincere. You just got to give it time. You got to watch the actions. And I said it's not always about the money. It's about the move for you. So if you go out to dinner and she says, hey, I'm finna pay, you be like, oh, I got it. It'll make you say I got it.
Right. Right. Like with me, women get about 6 to 8 free dates. I don't want you to pay. I'm pretty I'm pretty decently well off. I don't want you to pay, but the moment you start expecting me to pay,
It's not the
like
same.
I cut off a lot of, like when I was in the Navy, a lot of Navy females. Like, you not gonna pay? Excuse
No.
me? You get paid on the 1st and the 15th, just
Like
like
I
I do. And apparently you don't have a car, so you don't have a car note. So yeah, if they put, if they offer it, like I'm perfectly fine with paying. I don't care. But when they start expecting things and expecting you to do something and asking you to do something, I don't follow instructions well. Period.
I don't think it should be. So my thing is, a lot of women who do that, not all women, but I say this way, the women that do that, who don't offer to pay and want you to always pay, I always want to ask them, I always look at them and say, it's interesting how you want this man to pay, but what are you doing for this man to pay? You want him to pay on every date y'all go on. Why aren't you paying for the date? Why aren't you paying for the drinks? Why aren't you paying for the gas? Like, what are you doing to make him pay? You think just because you got a pretty face and some vagina?
I'll go fuck what you look like. I don't care about sexual.
There's a lot of women with vaginas out here. Some of them might be better than yours. I'm willing to bet that. It is what it is.
And they probably making money off of it. OnlyFans.
Right. Let's be finished about this. Let's be
Hey,
sure about it.
Disclaimer. Yo, if you want your OnlyFans shouted out, let us know. We'll put the link up.
I ain't helping you.
Huh?
I ain't finna help nobody go to. I ain't helping you go to college.
I'll help them go to college. I help a lot of strippers go to college. So
Listen, I ain't helping them go to college. I'm being good these days. I got a whole life to.
Ain't nobody talking about you. I'm talking about my side.
Well, listen.
Look, it's a 50-50. Okay.
Right.
I'm talking about my 50. We ain't worrying about you.
Hey, listen, you can say that, but then I got fans. I got fans too.
Look, and then they merge together. Okay.
But yeah, so then we got to talk about. Oh yeah, I think we almost done. I think we're gonna be closing out here soon, guys.
And that pretty much went into the next one. Is the relationship mutually beneficial or parasitic?
Yep. There it is.
If I feel like I'm having to do everything. I think one time I had a conversation with my pops. My pops was like, "Oh, you complaining about paying?" I'm like, "Because it's my money." He's like, "Well, if you're not willing to do this and this," I'm like, "Wait a minute, I'm not about to pay this young lady's bills. What am I getting in return? That's like, even aside from the sexual aspect, to make me feel that way. Honestly, I don't even give money to family. I don't fuck with y'all like that. Like,
No, I look at it like this.
You, Henry, and some of those other individuals who I reached that rapport with, like my boy Rusty, and shit. You hit me up, yo, son, I need some. All right, if I got it, I got you.
But if I don't, I don't. But that's okay because we know that already. All us like that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like you said about expecting to pay, and I was listening to what you're saying about your pop saying it's so we've been traditionalized to believe that a man's supposed to do everything, right?
Which I don't mind that mindset.
No. Let me show you why I have a disconnect. So I've been thinking about it a lot. Sometimes I've been looking at videos and stuff, trying to understand something. So with the Black community, because I ain't never been nothing else, the Black man or the African man, they never treated a woman as less. It was always a team. So how did they break the slave? They took his family. Think about it. When he came home at night after getting beat to sleep, and she was out there working in the field, he'd been beat to sleep in the field, and she been over here taking care of these people's babies. They didn't come in the house arguing. They came in the house to see each other, to hug each other, and to hold each other. They was consoling each other and smiling in front of these kids, even though they was broken in their hearts. They made it in their mind, we're going to make sure we do our best for these kids. The kids will never know how we truly feel. And don't get me wrong, I know it felt like hell. I can tell it felt like hell by looking at videos and hearing stories about it. But the moment they took the man away from his family is when they broke the man. So the woman was never treated less. She was always equal. And so the thing is, like I was telling Cynthia, I say, I wish I knew of somebody who can draw and that I can put it into an art form. So
I'll send you somebody.
a man is supposed to be a provider, yes, but providing does not just mean monetary things.
Emotional
Does
stability,
not mean
protection.
you know, there's a lot that goes into it. So I look at it like, okay, so picture a blue heart and a pink heart, right? I'm going with the traditional thing of blue is for men, pink is for women. So some people get offended, deal with it. Life goes on. Just trying to get a story out. Pay attention to it. That's what's important. Anyways, there are two hearts, right? The man takes the heart, his blue heart, he takes it out, he gives it to the woman with her pink heart. And she holds both of them, and she holds them dear close to her chest, right? Covering them up. And there's the man around her covering her as she holds the two hearts. So what that does is that shows that protect me as I protect you. So women are supposed to protect the man in his most vulnerable states. She's supposed to know his most intimate of secrets, but yet she keeps them to herself, and she protects it with her own might. But at the same time, me as the man, I protect her from this crazy world, mentally and physically. Mentally and physically and spiritually. I am her protector.
Right.
So how do you protect? Yes, you can't be around her 24/7. So you teach her things to keep her safe. So you buy the mace. You send her to you teach her some taekwondo, wrestling, whatever the heck you know. You teach it to her. You help her get a weapon to protect herself, a knife, mace, something. So she's protected even when she's not around you. Spiritually, how do you protect her? If you believe in God, you pray. If you believe in whoever, you do whatever you have to do to protect her spiritually. All right. How do you protect her mentally? When the world has beat her down and she come in from work, you say, baby, how you doing? You still a beautiful black queen. The world then told her she ain't this, that, and she ain't nothing else. But you reminded her who she is. So now you're protecting her mentally, spiritually, and physically.
Always elevating. Pedestal.
No, it's not always about the money. It's about what you do.
Oh,
So
I didn't say money. I said pedestal.
No, I'm just saying as an example. No, not what you said. What I'm saying is it's not always about the money. As being a provider, it's not always about the money. You provide everything. We look at a provider as just, oh, he got all the money for the house. Well, you got people like me who know how to do stuff in the house. So why the hell would I go pay for it? I can do it my damn self. We can use that money for something else.
Right. Makes sense.
I'm just saying, we I don't know. I'm a little different from most folks.
As we both are, as we sit here and contemplate life.
So there it is, guys.
We appreciate it. It was a good time, good chat. Again, we'll support your OnlyFans.
Randy will.
50% will. But good shit, dog. I'm gonna hit you up in a little bit. Let me get this. I'm gonna get this rendered. I'm gonna hit you up on the phone.
All right.
All right.